Hi guys, welcome to Short Nail Life. So in today's video, we are doing a real-time short nail gel application. That was a lot to say. Anyway, um, I am not a professional. I want to get that out there. I am completely self-taught. I've learned by trial and error. I've learned by YouTube. Like I am not a professional. If you were to meet a professional and ask them about this, they will probably tell you this is the wrong way to do it, but this is the way that I do it and it works for me. So to start off, I'm showing you this brush. I got this brush from AliExpress. This is perfect for somebody who does not know if they want to get into this and they want to stick with it. So you need something cheap and affordable. This works. I got it off AliExpress, but if you are going to stick with this, I recommend the LGN Pro brush. This is a size 6. I love it. You can see the difference with the head, and I feel like that makes the most difference on with your application. I just prefer the pink brush. I will be using the blue brush today for application though, because I want to stick with more affordable things in the video. But this is the Young Nails Master Gel Brush, I believe it's called. I hate it. It comes with the gel box. I can't remember the name of it, from Young Nails. I think it sucks. I love Young Nails product. I recommend Young Nails products, but their brush, it sucks. It's just too soft. It doesn't pick up product well for me. It's just, I don't like it. So this is the product I'm going to use today. This is a Vinalisa Elegant Pink Jelly Gel. Elegant Pink is the name of the color. I prefer this if you are a beginner. This does not move. I know some people tell you different stuff, but if you were to get a really runny builder gel and you're a beginner, you're going to obviously flood your cuticle, you're going to flood your sidewalls, and you're going to think that it's you, and it's not you. It's just that product is too runny, and the regular builder gel from Vinalisa is that runny consistency. So as you can see, I'm showing you that this gel does not move. It does self-level if you give it time, but it does not move. This is the type of gel that I would recommend for a beginner. And like I said, I'm not saying the runnier gel does not work. It does have its time and place, but as a beginner, you're going to want something that doesn't move like that. You're also going to want some base gel. This is, despite the typo, is rubber base gel, and this is from Coty. I got this from AliExpress. I've already applied it to my nails, but if your nails are lifting and you can't get them to stick, it's because you're not using a base gel. And each system that I use actually comes with its own base gel, so I've never had to actually use a regular base gel with my builder gel. So I'm not sure if that works, because I always use the system together, but you do want to use a base gel under your product. So right now I am just putting on a slip layer of product on the nail. I did the entire nail, and I'm just trying to show you how much product I did use for that slip layer. I use about that much. It's not a ton of product, it's just a little bit, just to show the gel where you want it to go. And then this is where you're going to pick up a larger bead. Now I can't tell you how much to put on your brush. It's kind of a trial and error thing. You just have to keep practicing to see how much you should pick up. And again, this is a short nail, so I can get away with less product and it won't break than somebody who has long nails. You just saw me put that product on about a third of the nail, and then I float it to the side. I want you to remember, guys, that gel is a barely there touch. It's feather light. As you can see with the brush, I'm barely touching that product. I'm simply just guiding it where it needs to go. I am not digging into it. I'm just giving it enough pressure for it to go where it needs to go. And I didn't feel like I had enough product to do the other side, so I added just a little bit of product. And then the bulk of the product, I always try to leave in the middle of the nail, and then I will feather the product to the side. And that's because when you're filing your nails, you'll notice that you file off most of the product that you add on. So you do not have to bulk up your sides at all. And this is really not about bulking up the side. This is about covering it and having enough product to file, if that makes sense. And if you have like a lumpy top right here, I feel like mine is perfect. I really didn't need to do this. You could just feather it up to kind of distribute some of that product. And if you feel like it's also too much at the tip, you could turn it upside down like I'm doing right now to let gravity work with the nail. But I felt like mine was fine, so I just actually stuck it in the light after I showed you guys that. And now I'm just going to do another slip layer after I've cured it. I cure my nails for about 15 seconds. We'll flash cure them for 15 seconds. And I do another slip layer as you saw. And then this is where I get my cuticle bead. Again, I can't tell you how much product to put on your brush. It's just trial and error and practice. But once I lay my cuticle bead, I kind of do circular motions. And I'm doing that until I feel like all of the product is kind of off of my brush, but I'm still connected to the brush, if that makes sense. Like you'll see what I mean when you start doing that. And then I do a pressing motion at the cuticle. I got this part from Tabitha Scott. I just noticed that she was pressing her cuticle, and I was like, I wonder if that actually helped. And it does help. It actually helps you to get a more round, to me, cuticle shape, but it's a barely there press. Gel is super soft. You don't have to dig in it. You don't need to dig in it. Just a tap, like a small little tap, and keep tapping until you see what you want. And then that's when you're going to bring the product down the nail. And I just added a little bit more product, and it's the same process. You put the product on there, but you do the circular motions until it attaches, and then you start slowly bringing all of that product down the nail. And once you get it down the nail, you're going to try to blend it into the free edge. And I'm sorry I stop a lot in this video just to like gaze out, but I'm watching TV at the same time and I really wasn't realizing what I was doing. So that's what I'm doing, just bringing this product down and I'm blending it. I'm trying to blend it right now. And then I will take the product on the sides and I'll float that to the sidewalls. Again, you're going to file almost all of this product off, so you do not need to bulk up your sidewalls, which is why I didn't bring like a cuticle or a sidewall bead or anything like that on the nail. I'm just using the product that is already there. And I want to make sure I'm being very clear and say this is a short nail. If you were doing a long nail, I would actually add a little bit more product. And I know you guys kind of see that I did miss like this tip on the side right here. That's fine for me because I'm going to file that off because the tip is too big for the nail. I actually just, when I'm doing videos, I glue on the tip and I don't size it. I don't know why I do that. I just feel like I could size it after I get the design and everything down. But that was on me. I should have sized it for the purposes of this video, but I will file that off so it doesn't even matter. So I'm just going to do the same process. This is my slip layer and I just put that down the nail. And another tip is to take your time. This honestly is the best application I have done in a long time because I was taking my time for you guys for this video so you could see what I was doing. And I usually rush. You guys know I say I'm like chaos when I'm doing nails. Like I slap it on. If it's blobby, I'm like I'll file it off later anyway. So I just slap it on and I go. But with me taking my time, I cut down with filing. I didn't have to file as much. It took me 10 minutes at most, and then I was designing the nails, which if you want to see me design these nails, it was Tuesday's video. I'll pop a picture up and you can see that video in the cards up above. But yeah, take your time. You do not have to rush. Pick a time when you can take your time and relax and do this, because if you're stressed and then you're trying to rush at the same time, your application is going to mess up. So don't stress so much about it and don't be forceful. Like I said, this is a barely there touch. You don't have to dig into it. It's really just a floating motion. You're floating on top of the gel. Is the best way I can think of to say it. It's it's not like acrylic or polygel. I know acrylic, you do have to pat the acrylic. I know polygel, you have to pat the polygel. You do not have to pat gel. You're really floating gel, basically. And while I'm talking about acrylic, my method is based off of acrylic. This came from me watching plenty of people do acrylic, because every time I watched a gel video and I tried to imitate what the people did in their gel video, I just kept getting more and more frustrated because it didn't click with me. And maybe in the future it'll click because I am learning control of my gel, but for right now, well, for then, it wasn't clicking. So I was watching a lot of acrylic. I know Nailed by Jessica. I watched every single video she came out with. She was really good. She was very helpful. And that's kind of where I kind of got my 2-bead method. I don't think she does a 2-bead method like what I'm doing, but I'm just saying that she was like my inspiration for me looking at acrylic videos. And it was more of people that I watched that do acrylic. It's a lot, but I can't think of any of them at the moment. She's just the only one that's on the top of my head. But yeah, it's just like, that's what clicked. I was like, I wonder, can I apply a 2-bead method to gel? And when I did, that's when I finally was successful. I didn't have any missing sidewalls. I didn't have missing parts at my cuticle. Like, it clicks better for me. And I know some people don't like this method because of the flash curing in between, but to be honest, it does not add that much time. You're only flash curing for 15 seconds. Once that 15 seconds is done, you do the next part, you move on. And like, I've done my mom's nails with this method. If you're alternating nails, it flies by. Like, well, not nails, but hands. It flies by. So it works as well if you're doing someone else's hands, but for practice and things like that, it's not that bad. It's literally 15 seconds. And again, if you have more questions and I didn't go over something, please leave them in the comment section down below, because I feel like I'm forgetting some stuff. I did write a lot of things down, and if it sounded like I was reading something, that's because I wrote a lot of things down and I'm trying to cover everything. But to recap, your brush is important. Your gel is important. You, as a beginner, I would highly recommend a thick gel. Not too thick, but enough that it self levels, but also it's easy to maneuver. Base gel, super important. Prep is super important. You do want to prep your nails. This is not a video on prep. Maybe one day I'll do one, but there's plenty of prep videos. You do need to use your dehydrator, your primer, but base gel is super important because that can cause your nails to lift. Another tip is like I said, gel is a barely there touch. You do not have to dig in the gel. Digging in the gel is just gonna make divots in your nails. It's gonna make the nail flatter. Like, don't dig into the gel. That's a really good tip. It's a barely there touch, and it's simply floating. If you can just remember that while you're doing your application, just remember to float. Like, just glide. Don't dig in, glide and float. That's the best way I can tell you to, like, stay on top of the gel. That's another thing, like, stay on top of the gel. Don't dig in it. And I hope that helps. Again, any questions you have down below, I'll try my best to answer. But again, please remember, I am not a professional. This is literally just like a year of practice with me. And I feel very confident with gel. Like, I feel like I can do anything I want to with gel. except for a nail bed. I am still practicing how to do um, a nail bed because that is very difficult with short nails. It's not technically, I could do it with a long nail. I've done it plenty of times with a long nail, but short nails, yeah, that's a little difficult. And that's something else I may in the future address is like shaping short nails is completely different than shaping long nails. I hear more people struggle with short nails than long nails because if you don't do it right, it can make the nails very thick and bulky looking. And my Tuesday video, you'll see what I'm talking about because I kind of did it in that video, but I did fix it. But yeah, short nails can be very difficult. I already know that, but it's just like it's practice. I feel like with every single set, I learn something new about application, about filing, like something. I learned something new with every single set that it just takes time and practice. So I don't know if anybody has saw my community post, but I am I don't know, I paused. I'm sorry. I want to do a video on AliExpress. Maybe. It's a maybe right now because I don't know how to not make it seem boring because it will basically be a screen recording and me talking over the screen recording. And I don't know if that would be super boring because I don't show my face on the videos. Like, it's something I'm thinking about, but I need questions. So basically the video is basically how I use, I'm sorry I keep saying basically, I just realized I'm doing that. Anyway, the video will be about how to use the app, how I find coupons, like how coupons stack together, how to get into the store and like look for more items when you find a deal, things like that, because I feel like that's very helpful. Those are things I do. I always tell you guys, if you see a deal on AliExpress, always go into that store because they more than likely they have more than that one item that's a good price. Sometimes it is that one item, but a lot of times you can find a lot more products basically. So yeah, leave questions if you have them in the comment section because I will try to do a video. If it seems boring, I am going to scrap it. Well, I might post it because like I never know. Some people might enjoy it, and yeah, some people won't, because some people will not like this video right here because it seems very long. And going back to on topic of this being very long, I know I could have cut it maybe at 2 nails, but I felt like some people probably wanted to see the process of all 4 nails. And that's why I just kept it at real time because I could have sped it up. But this is for people who want it, you know? And let me address my pinky. I struggle with pinkies. I always put too much product, and I did that on today's video. Like I said, application and product, like how much product you get out of there for each nail, it's a learning process. And for me, pinkies has not grasped in my head, but luckily this is so easy to file. Gel is just super simple to file, so yeah, the pinky is not a problem. And like I said, I only took like 10 minutes to file after I got done with this application. And I'm showing you, I see that side right there, and it's fine. I'm going to fix it to the best of my ability, but to be honest, that's going to get filed. I'm going to smooth that part out anyway because it looks like I'm missing something, but it's actually not missing something. It's like your brain seeing something that is really not really an issue, if that makes sense. Because once you start filing and you smooth all of that down, it all blends together, if that makes sense. So that's another thing. Don't worry so much about your side walls looking lumpy and bumpy, because once you start filing, it's like, why were you worried about that? Because that smooths right on out. And then also, it's okay if once you start filing and you get done and you look at your nail and you're like, oh no, I need a little bit of gel right here. It's okay to go back in and add it. I've done it plenty of times as a beginner. Like, just add the gel. It is fine. It just means you're still learning, you're still growing. So yeah, add the gel if you need to, and just keep on going. Also, I didn't even mention this, but check the nails from every single side. You always make sure you have your apex if you want an apex where it needs to be. I know some people don't want an apex. Always make sure you have the proper structure, the proper thickness. Like, check all angles of your nail. It's really helpful. And that will also tell you if you need to add some product before you get to filing and you mess up. That will just save you so much time. And I hope all of my tips helped somebody. I feel like it was a lot. Again, I'm gonna keep saying it. Leave questions down below if you have them, because I want to help as much as I can. But this application I was very proud of. It went by very easily. But thank you guys for joining me. Please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. I want you guys to have an amazing day. Leave questions, comments, whatever you have down below. Have a great day, guys. Bye.